Hi everyone, let's take a look at what's happening on the market and things to watch out for the coming week as well. So before I start, remember to share and like on this video, and also to join my join my Telegram, because I'll be sharing more news over there as well, especially for people who have managed to ride on the HSI Hang Seng Index, which I shared in the Telegram on last week as well. So let's take a look at what's happening on the market overall, and especially after the core CPI last week itself, right? So we can see that most of the index major three actually have some dip down on last week itself. Basically, S&P 500 has a second straight weekly losses. But to be frank, what causes all this is because of the coming week is actually the Fed policy meeting on the decisions of the interest rate once again. All right, so with all the accumulative economy data like CPI, non-farm payroll, unemployment rate, all these add up, it seems like it gives a pressure to the policy meeting that it may not loosen their monetary policy. All right, so that is why if let's say there is no rate cut, the index, the equity should be actually kind of like bearish if let's say the rate is not going to reduce. Another word to say that if let's say the interest rate is going to be remain at the high side, it will actually boost up the treasury, and that is why you can see the 10-year treasury is actually higher about 22 basis point this week. Not just on 10-year treasury, basically the 2-year treasury also went up. All right, so however, on last Friday, if let's say you have been monitoring the market, you should know that the tech shares were borderly lower. So basically, it's like Amazon, Microsoft, people who have been holding Adobe. I guess Adobe got some bad news over there, dropped over 10+%. So most of the technology actually dipped down on last Friday. We'll be going through a couple of technology sector as well, looking for some preparation if let's say things go better for the shares we'll be going through later, where is a good point to enter. All right, so without further ado, just to remind you guys, next week, take note, a big major event is on Wednesday, is at the Fed interest rate decisions. So will they cut the rate or remain the same? All right, with all the economy news that actually happened over the last week, last quarter of the year, maybe on my judgment, I will just say that the Fed will remain no cut. I mean, they will remain at the current rate, and they might be looking to possibility of cutting maybe in June, and that's what the market is predicting, right? So don't be surprised if let's say there's no cut. I think a lot of people start to price in, as you can see that the market start to reduce a bit, right? So I think they have mentally prepared on no cut. But if let's say there is a cut, all right, it will be a surprise, and it will cause the equity market to shoot even higher. It will cause the dollar to sink even lower as well. All right, there's always the vice versa. All right, so let's go to the chart itself. For the chart itself, this is Dow Jones, which I mentioned, buyer support in progress, forming bearish divergence, supply 38,000. So if let's say if you break, all right, only if you break, then we may see that it closed 37,000. So will this happen on next week with the interest rate? We shall see. All right, so right now it's trading in between this level. As you can see, this is what I predicted last week itself. The market did not came down, all right, but then it went even higher. But things to watch out is that even though the market went even higher, right, the RSI still remain on the bearish divergence. All right, so for here, I will say that this resistance, the box that I draw, right, is kind of like valid at this moment still. People who didn't follow me or follow my video, I did mention that this resistance point is between 39,000 to 40,000. All right, this is the resistance at 39,000, and the next resistance at 40,000, round figure. All right, it may be playing out on this sell in May and go away. Things is building on a momentum. So what I mean by that is that right now is actually the mid of the March. We left 1.5 months to go to hit the May. It may be hovering around here to wait for the sell in May to come into play. That is what I written this line previously. Alright, so continue to monitor. Hopefully it will be pending on display. If that's the case, meaning to say that the price should be hovering around here. Alright, but I wouldn't be surprised if, let's say, the price go to 40,000. I think a lot of people trying to see Dow making a new high. The newspaper, the news, the social media saying that wow, Dow is hitting the 40,000. When it hit that mark, just be cautious. All right. So next we'll be looking into US 100, which I think is the Nasdaq itself. So this is Nasdaq. Just be cautious. All right. Let me just see. Okay, Nasdaq. Right, so just be caution on this point. This is what I stated, right? On the daily chart, okay, this is what I stated. We right now is being well resisted. So my view is on the downside. Wait for the pullback. If let's say you want to long, just be cautious. Why? If let's say we look into QQQ, for people who know what does it mean, it's the ETF, right? We can see that it's not showing a good sign. Kind of like a bearish candle is forming at the tip top. All right. So this both is like a shooting star right now with a confirmation of a small candles with an overbought situation of RSI with a peak of the volume. So yes, just be cautious, especially we know that tech has not been performing or in the deep red on Friday itself. Okay, so couple of shares that you can monitor is actually Tesla. Tesla is not performing well. This is why I say that there will be some support around 175 with a well Fibonacci resist support at 23.6%. Right now, you can see that on last week candle, it actually broke this support level. Oops, 1 second. Okay, it actually broke this support level. We may be eyeing on the previous low, which is $100. Will it possible go to there with the bearish sentiments from the Nasdaq, from the cutting rate? It might have a chance to reach there. So just be cautious if let's say you are still holding Tesla, or otherwise for people who have not entered into Tesla, this will be some value or the figure that you are looking to do dollar cost averaging. Alright, so this is what I mean, dollar cost averaging. People who have actually entered at 175, I hope you did not enter with all your money in one shot, because you should plan some dollar cost averaging along the way. Alright, if you only believe that Tesla in the long run have a U-turn mentality, then you do the dollar cost averaging. Otherwise, it will just consider as value trap. Okay, so that is what I mean. We might have chance to see Tesla to go down from here, unless it's kind of like good news on the delivery. Elon Musk come and do some singing. Otherwise, we may have a good chance that it will fall to here. So I just write today is 16 March 2024, break below 23.6% Fibo, may see next support level around. I try not to go directly to directly to the $100 benchmark. I will just see support level around 140 below before major support $100. Okay, so this is what I will be looking at for Tesla itself. So next we'll be looking into things like not doing well. Boeing on the weekly chart. Okay, this is what previously I wrote some. Just be cautious, resistance and support. I think it hit. I remember it hit. All right, so this is when October 2023. Oh, I didn't write the date here, but I think it's somewhere it hit lah. Alright, so on the 13th Jan, watch out for next support around $200 level, which is here. Okay, so right now it break below everything. It touches the 23.6% Fibonacci. Is where this on a really chart, it was well supported previously. Alright, some support and resistance over here. So if let's say you will be monitoring this price at 180 very close, if it break below, we may see more downside on Boeing itself. Okay, but for Boeing, it's a bit contradict at this point of time. On a weekly, yes, it's a very bearish sentiment. But if let's say you go to the daily chart, we can see that right now it's actually heavily on the oversold and is supported previously. Right now, this price might be hovering here, waiting for the perhaps the next earnings report or perhaps with the regulations. I think what causes here is due to the security of the plane, right? I think they breach some regulations or something along the security line, all right, the quality control check. So if things don't go well, we may see Boeing to go to the next level around 145. Okay, so we just write here, which is the 16 March 04. Okay, supported at 181, which is 23.6% Fibo level. Alright, so this is what I'm saying. And then we will be looking at another thing is called UPS. Is actually a chart is quite, I would like to bring this chart is because it's kind of like a play with a chart pattern right now at the neckline itself. Okay, on the weekly we know that UBS is doing kind of like an uptrend, as you can see. All right, it's a very nice uptrend, well supported. Okay, well supported. A long-term uptrend. This is just like a fake breakdown. But the thing is that what concerns me is if let's say you think that this is all the top, okay, break below the neckline of the support, retest, break below with a sharp candle weekly, as you can see, a very strong sharp candle. Last week itself it closed with like a shooting star on the resistance level. So this line, right, 156 or 155, whichever around here, which is this line, is very significant right now. Okay, it's very significant right now. So if let's say it did not successfully go up by next week, then it's well resisted, we can actually take some short position with a tight stop loss. I think it's a fantastic risk reward over here. So we can just write here at 16 March 2024. All right, price retest on the support turn resistance neckline around 155/156. Okay, so okay, so this is what I'm trying to say. Okay, so where to put a stop loss, where to put the take profit, you guys decide. But if it never go below that, then we will be biased on the downside, and therefore I will just draw here. Okay, and once later on, if let's say it fulfill and it break below this major support ascending trend line, we may see more downside for UPS at this point of time. Okay, next thing we'll be looking into US oil, which is the WTI I previously mentioned before. Right now, US oil actually touches the $81 resistance level on the weekly candle as well. Okay, we need US oil to break 81 before we may see more positive upside. So it's the same thing. Upside will be at this resistance, so no change. 16 March. View same as before. Must break 81 to send. Okay, must break. Okay, that is my view, but I'm biased. Okay, so just right lah, biased upside at the moment. Okay, this is what I feel. Bias upside at the moment. Next, we will be looking into HSI, which I shared in my Telegram as well. So as you can see, what I did in the Telegram, I say that waiting for the price to break above the descending trend line followed by a break above 70,000 in line with inverse head and shoulder followed by the 50 days. So I think I put this on the 9th of March. Okay, so just to zoom in, 9 March is somewhere here. Okay, I saying that waiting for the price to break above the descending trend, which is this line. All right, descending trend, which is this line. Just put in another color, this line, and then we may, once it break above the descending, followed by a break above the 17,000. All right, which is the inverse head and shoulder neckline. So what do I mean? Let me just remove all the line first. Okay, to make it look nicer. Okay, to make it look nicer. 1 second. Okay, so this is what I mean right now. Here is the inverse head and shoulder. Here is the neckline. Okay, breaking the first descending, we will send to 70,000 around here. Well resisted, come down. Right now, this line becomes resistance turn support. So if let's say you're able to bounce and break above 70,000, we may see 70,500 as the next resistance level. That is what I mean right now. Okay, so 16 March 2024, price resisted by the inverse head and shoulder neckline, 17K. Okay, waiting for the price to be supported at the previous resistance, descending resistance line. So it's resistance turn support. Okay, so this line is the resistance turn support. Alright, so that is what my view on HSI, and then bias on upside as well. Then we will be looking into selective counter like gold. Okay, for gold, this is what I wrote previously. Right, this is what I wrote previously. Waiting for it to pull back around 2000 before we decide to long the positions again. So, like I said, this coming Fed rate decisions may have some volatility in all products, even for gold as a safe haven. So we shall see whether will gold drop to this line before it bounce back. Okay, so just be cautioned, the view remain the same. Lastly, we'll go to one of the counter, which is JD. JD have some miracle move over the last 1 week itself. We can see that the price actually kept went even higher. So I think on 9 March, I say may start your DCA with 2150 as an immediate support level. Alright, so 9 March is around here. 9 March is around here. Okay, 9 March is around here. So if let's say you have start doing your DCA, congratulations, 2150 is somewhere around here, which is your immediate support level. So right now the price is hovering around the previous support level, which is 2730. Of course, if you want to be safe, you can wait for the pullback before you go up. For people who worry that you missed the boat, you may write it up right now. Okay, but it need to break $30, which is in line with this 200 days moving average, before it can go even higher. Okay, so right now the price will be hovering around this area, but it's good a pullback for you to nimble it. All right, it's good if let's say there's a pullback, it's good for you to nimble it. You don't have to wet everything. Plan dollar cost averaging as per what you believe previously, or that you follow me as well. So yes, I'm still doing my dollar cost averaging for JD. I got no regret. I'm holding. All right, I'm holding, and I strongly believe it will come back and above my entry price as well. Okay, so that's all for this week Willy Market Update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed, and you guys have watched list some certain counter like Boeing, UPS, HSI, and also WTI. Lastly is Tesla. This is what we go through. Put into your watch list, monitor from there. Any opportunity, grab it. Once, if let's say you manage to get a profit from what I have been sharing, just do me a simple thing is to share and like my video to more people out there. At least they benefited to not pay the money to the market. All right, thank you, and I see you guys next week. Bye bye.